Ever pinch pennies all year for that one family vacation only to feel the budget blues afterwards? If so, I was just like you. After 3 vacationless years, I stumbled on credit card rewards travel and cracked the code to amazing vacations that I could actually afford.
Welcome to Wonderland on Points. In this podcast, you will discover how opening credit cards strategically can save you thousands on travel. We're not just dreamers anymore. We're 2 adventurous moms turning dreams into reality. Join us as we spill all the points and miles secrets.
And contrary to popular belief, you don't have to spend $1 million to earn 1,000,000 points. Traveling on credit card points isn't reserved for those with overflowing bank accounts. It's for everyday people like you and me, learning to turn routine expenses into free travel.
Consider us your points travel guides. This is Wonderland on Points. Let the adventure begin. Welcome back to Wonderland on Points, everybody. We are so glad you are here. We have a dynamic power couple duo with us today. We have the Parks from on Instagram, Parks on Rec. Victoria and Brad are so much fun. Let me promise you this, guys. Promise you, go follow them on Instagram because they're so entertaining and beautiful and funny. I love their Instagram. So I'm really thrilled that they are with us here today. Brad and Victoria, welcome.
Oh,
thank you.
What an intro.
I know.
No,
I want to clip that and just take it with me everywhere. When I walk into a restaurant next, I just want that to play and just that's a dynamic power couple duo.
It's all true.
Wow.
It is true.
I'm gonna take that.
When I saw your Instagram for the first time, which was probably like a year ago or so, I told Mary Ellen, I was like, these guys are going to be the points and miles couple. Like they are going to be out of all of the duos that do points and miles on Instagram. This is them. This is them. Look how cute they are. Obsessed. So
yeah, she did. I can confirm.
I did say that. And now here we are. And we got
made
to
it.
Actually, you did. You did. And we're so happy to have you here. And we got to meet you in person at Travelmore. It was so fun.
Yes.
That was so much fun.
I feel like I didn't have nearly enough time to hang out with you because I didn't get to hang out with basically anybody. It was a little busy, but it was
working.
Work.
Going
girl.
everywhere.
Work. Yeah. I've had a lot of coffee today, guys, just so you know what kind of episode we're getting into here. But before we derail right from the top, tell us a little bit about you guys. We want to know, first of all, what you do in your day jobs. And then we want to know how you got into the world of points and miles and started teaching it online.
Yeah, that's exciting. I probably have the more straightforward day job. So I'll start with that.
Go ahead, honey.
I was a band director for 10 years. So I taught middle school and high school band. That's a whole nother story. Yeah.
We both have band kids, middle school band kids.
Clarinet,
yes, both of us. Yep.
Yes. Oh, so we got way more to talk about. Not that points and miles and travel would fill that up, but was that doing that for 10 years and made a shift, just kind of long story short, reached my capacity with teaching and the public schools, and I'm now a corporate trainer. So instead of teaching kids, I'm now teaching and training adults, which on most days is less stressful.
Yes. Is it? Yes. Hopefully.
So I'm a corporate trainer for a tech company here in Atlanta. So that's my day job.
For my day job, I actually also was previously a teacher. I was an elementary major, and I taught everything from kindergarten to 5th grade. And then I only did that for 3 years, though, because one of my primary roles now is I'm also an actress. So that is what takes up most of my time. And then sidebar with I work as an executive assistant for a baby and toddler sleep consultant company.
Okay.
Cool.
Very niche.
I've done sleep consulting as a job, as a nanny / household manager of 15 plus years. Sleep consulting did come into it a little bit. I actually tried to start my own mommy concierge company for a minute, and then COVID happened, and nobody wanted people in their homes anymore. And so I just scrapped that whole thing. It's okay. I like what I'm doing now a lot better.
Good. Yes.
Can we just?
So that's
you're an actress, like as your full-time job.
Well, not full time because that's where the baby and toddler sleep work
But
comes
like
in.
most
But
time
it's my
job?
it's my primary job is, well, I always like to say I'm a professional auditioner because I do about 100 auditions a year. Actually, as of today, it was 103. I did my 103rd audition today. But yes, I do commercials. So I've worked with brands like Juicy Juice, Camping World, Rooms to Go, Popeyes Chicken. I've done all those, and then theatrical stuff too. This past year, I was on a show called Will Trent, and then last year, a show called Hysteria, which was on Peacock, but they got canceled after one season.
As a former theater major, I can just say that it is so fun to meet somebody who actually does that as a job. I canned that the second I got pregnant, like 13 years ago. I was like, that's clearly not going to be my job now.
It's so fun. I love it. Obviously, it's very hard too sometimes because you audition all the time and then you just don't hear anything back.
Oh, yeah.
And then if you do hear something, then it's good news. But other than that, you just kind of you just keep going.
Okay, this is amazing.
I love it. And so that's where all that to tie into, that's one of the things what we loved about content creation and Points and Miles is we both have this love of teaching in some capacity, and him with music performance and me with theatrical stuff, that gets tied into the creativity of it is so good, and then our love for travel. So that's what then brought us to Points and Miles in a way.
See, and I knew that I liked you guys. We've never really gotten into the backgrounds before, but I'm also a former teacher who changed careers. Now I teach adult students. They're nursing students. I do. So we have so many similarities. It's so funny. Well, all of this reinforces the power couple.
Yep.
I was right on with that. I definitely stand by that. You guys are awesome. Let's chat Mexico, because that is really why we have come together today. You guys have taken so many wonderful trips with Points and Miles, but you took a fabulous couples getaway to the Secrets Moxché, Playa del Carmen, all thanks to Points and Miles. And you started off this trip by maximizing one of the staple deals in this whole world travel world that we are talking about a lot, specifically in the fall.
Yes.
And that's the Southwest Companion Pass. 'Tis definitely the season for that. So how were you able to maximize your Southwest Companion Pass for this trip? And give us a brief overview of the route you used to get the Companion Pass, because everyone does it a little bit differently.
Yes, absolutely. So with this trip in particular, and a lot of our domestic and basically anywhere Southwest flies, domestic and Caribbean, when we earned our Southwest Companion Pass, which I'll get into our overview of how we did that intentionally so that way we wouldn't have to use our flexible points and be transferring them for domestic travel. Now we have this stockpile of Companion Pass points that we earned, and then we use that throughout the whole year to take us anywhere domestically, or if we were doing a positioning flight, or in this case, going to Mexico. So that way we're able to use that so we could save our flexible points for a fancy business class flight, or in this case, too, Hyatt points to book this resort. So that is always kind of our strategy whenever it comes to traveling within the United States or the Caribbean is how can we use Southwest?
Yeah.
So that way we can also use the Companion Pass. And in this case, Brad is the one who had the Companion Pass for the past 2 years. So all of 2024 and all of 2025. And so anytime he flew, I came for free. And the way we started that was in 2023 in the fall. So we're in Companion Pass season.
Yes.
We first started with one of the business cards. We opened that around mid-October. And the whole key with this is that you are opening the card, but not finishing the minimum spend until the start of the new year. So in 2023, October, we opened the business card. We got pretty close to meeting the minimum spend. I like to save around $500
yes,
left.
What we say too.
And then we put literally a Post-it note that says, do not use. And then on the card, I tape it to the card and I put it in a drawer so we know not to use it. And then 30 days later, I applied for the personal card. And we did the same process, left $500-ish on it. And then once January hit, we spent on both those cards, hit the minimum spend. So by, I think it was the very beginning of February, once all the points officially rolled over and the statement closed, we had our companion pass, the 135,000 required points.
Perfect.
And so we immediately turned around and booked our flights to Mexico for May.
Yeah, you did.
Ooh, that's kind of quick in like a
Yeah.
peak season, I would imagine, for people to want to be going to Mexico.
Yes.
Did you guys apply for the business card just because that was the better offer happening first? Because I feel like a lot of people
Yes.
start personal, and a lot of times we've seen elevated offers on the personal in the fall like there is right now. So
Yes, it happened to be based on the elevated offers at the time. We're actually doing it again this year, although now I am going through the process because Brad just did it most recently. And we did the reverse this time because we wanted to take advantage of that 100K personal offer that was around.
yes.
And we timed it so that way our minimum spend would be the deadline is sometime in January. So it worked out perfectly for us to be able to do that.
Yeah. And guys, just a reminder, there's an 85,000 offer on the personal card right now. So you can actually be doing this because they've elevated it twice in a very short amount of time, which doesn't really happen very often.
Southwest is just firing from the hip right now.
Yes.
It makes me nervous, right?
They're
Yeah.
wild
Same
cards.
thought. I've had the same thought. I was like,
What?
why are they
What's
doing
going on?
this?
Why are you making this so easy for us? What is up? What are you going to change? What's coming?
I'm just hopeful that maybe they just have a quota that they like needed to hit.
Well, I think they got a lot of bad press, right? They got
It's
a
true.
lot of bad press the first half of the year. So maybe
Yeah.
they don't have as many people biting on their cards as they hope to meet whatever quota. Yeah. And so now they're boosting it again. I don't know.
It's a really good thought too. That's a positive thought.
I
Yeah.
like
See, my-
the positive thought.
Mine straight go to like conspiracy theories.
Same.
Yeah.
100% of the
Use a
time.
positive thought.
The conversations we have at the dinner table of like airlines and hotels just gets unhinged.
Yes.
Oh, I wish
I
I,
don't
had
know-
a play or
Oh,
two
go ahead.
that wanted to get nerdy with me in here.
Oh, yeah.
Sad.
Just give me the phone number. I'll
Get
I'll
him
work
on
some things for
board.
you.
Get him on
Yeah.
board.
Yeah.
If it is helpful, we do have a Southwest Companion Pass guide on our website as that we could if anyone wants that as a resource.
Yeah,
I don't know
let's
if you
link
guys
that
already
in the
have
show notes.
one.
We
But
have a
can link
podcast
that
episode
for you if you want.
But some people
Oh,
are
excellent.
visual learners, so we can put it in the show notes, and that way we have something for our auditory learners and something for our visual learners. It's the best of all the worlds. Before we get into transportation from the airport to the hotel, do you remember how much it was to fly each way? Obviously,
do
companion
we?
pass me. Oh, yes. Okay, that's what I like to hear. Obviously, one of you was free, but we would like to know taxes and fees and points price.
Yes. Okay. So we have what we wrote down in our notes was for the total trip. It was 38,000 Southwest points.
That's great.
If I remember correct, I do remember correctly. It was just under 20,000 one way, and it was $48 in taxes per person one way, like to get there. And then on the way back, 18,000.
And so it was a little on for Southwest when we did it, probably a little higher on the points, but we booked it in February.
Yeah, we booked it as soon as we got the companion pass.
For late May. So we waited a little while so we had those points. But we flew direct from Atlanta to Cancun.
Mm-hmm.
On the way home, we flew Cancun to Fort Lauderdale to Atlanta. So if it's Southwest, you got to have at least one layover on your trip.
True. These days.
I did not when we went to Mexico from St. Louis, both ways direct.
Oh,
That was amazing. That's very rare.
That's a gift.
That's a good flight route you got then.
It sure was.
So that's what we did. I think it averaged out for the flights. It actually was, I think we got 3 cents per point on the flights.
Mm-hmm.
So it still was a good redemption because we're, the cash price to then fly international too.
Yeah.
For two people too. We factor that into like our costs, but because we had companion pass, BOGO. So
yeah.
even
I mean,
better
that
for
comes
point
out
redemption.
to less than 10,000 points a person per way. And I think that is wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah. Where we're the pre changes of Southwest, we were always trying to find, 5,000 point flights somewhere, which was not hard to find if you looked far enough out. But yeah, that was what we had.
I was pulling up my little what we have here is our redemption spreadsheet.
Yes. Amazing.
Beautiful.
You can tell who the P1 is in this relationship.
So total for Mexico, it was just under 38,000 points. And then it was $235 in taxes and fees for both of us round trip.
That's great.
So like less than the cost of one of the flights by itself.
Yep.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Highly recommend. Because, and then, which we'll get into, when you're there and you're at Secrets Moxché, you're not paying anything.
Everything's included.
Right.
This is
Yes,
the
we'll
best.
spend just under $250 to get there and back. Yeah, take our money.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm so in on, the all-inclusive life. And especially when we did Hyatt Vivid Grand Island, like it's a brand new property, which means their redemptions are dirt cheap. I think it was 17,000 points a night when we went. It was amazing. I took my husband, 10 out of 10. Now, granted, it is not Secrets Moxché level. Okay. These are two I was like looking, I was like, how many restaurants are there at this place? Like we had to start repeating restaurants after a while, but it was so great for like almost nothing points wise when you're talking about they're giving you all your drinks and all your food. I'm like, all inclusives for everything forever for the rest of my life. I'll be perfectly happy.
So good. So good.
Well, let's talk about the airport transfer because we did do an episode on Joanna's trip with her husband. They had a great time, but the one hiccup on their trip was the transportation from the Cancun airport to her hotel. They decided to, always save money, always go the budget route. They were trying to do an Uber, which is technically legal in Mexico, except for it caused a whole thing. You guys will have to go back and listen to that episode. We were not sure that Joanna was going to make it out alive. There was this whole heckling riot situation that arose at the airport. I think we scared everyone for flying into Cancun. So please tell us that you had a very smooth and uneventful airport transfer.
We did.
We'll
redeem it for everybody. You can go to Cancun Airport.
Oh my goodness.
When we landed in Cancun and we finally got through, I guess we didn't even need a bag because we just had it on the flight. But like when you get through baggage claim and you're exiting the airport, I'm sure you experienced this too. You're immediately hit with what feels like every person in Cancun that is a local resident is at the airport trying to offer you some sort of shuttle service, taxi ride, some sort of fare to get to wherever you're going. There are signs. It is
so overwhelming.
Overwhelming and just overstimulating.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there, and of course we're there, and I know we're safe, but I'm like, keep Victoria close to me. We need to get through. I mean, it's literally like safe? People just lined up.
You got to listen to the episode. I don't know.
So we're trying to get through. We finally did. We got out, and fortunately, we knew where we were going. We knew what we were looking for, but it is still like our first time together in the Cancun airport, and so. Just getting to the exit of the airport was like, okay, I could see how somebody could easily get caught up in anything that's happening here. But we pre-booked specifically USA Transfers, their website, usa-transfers.com. And we got a round trip private shuttle to and from our resort, or to and from Secrets Moxché, and we did that in advance. There's a few different options down there. We've heard good things about Happy Shuttle Cancun.
Yes,
is another good option. That was a little bit more expensive. The price for what we paid for that round trip was $140 total.
Okay.
So if you want to break that up, $70 each way, and it was probably a good 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, the drive was
far.
Yeah, it was almost, I would say 45 minutes is exactly right. 45 minutes, 47.
And
being specific, but
so it remembers all details.
Impressively specific.
Or maybe
and
I'm
39
totally
seconds.
Off base. I could be absolutely wrong.
But now
think that's right. But
when you're factoring in, okay, your stay at the resort is free, $0. You've got taxes and fees for the airfare to and from. But then when you think of, okay, I can book a private shuttle to get to and from the resort where I don't have to worry about somebody else booking this that's now a group shuttle, and we're going to stop at this resort and that resort and the other resort before I get to mine. And now this, what we thought of was 47-minute trip is now 2 hours plus before we get to where, and then you're looking at, when does my flight land? When can I get to Secrets Moxché, and then when can I start enjoying all of the amenities on this property? It's like, okay, now you're 4 or 5 hours past your landing time. So we thought the value of that was, sign us up.
Worth it.
Again, take our money, so that we can get there quickly. We're taken right up to it. And it was a great experience. Joanna, I'm sorry that yours was not the same.
My own fault for being stubborn and trying not to let people take advantage of me, which is because they were trying to charge us close to $70 for a 10-minute shuttle ride. Is like, I mean, that was so. The Hyatt Vivid Grand Island is 10 or 15 minutes away. It's very close. So I would say $70 each way for that distance sounds amazing. Also, did you guys tip on top of that, or is that kind of built in?
I think we did.
We did tip on that.
We had, oh gosh, I'm trying to think if we had USD or if we had.
We gave him cash. Yep. Yeah. USD.
Yeah. Which, and again, everybody there within Cancun, Playa del Carmen, everybody's taking dollars as well.
And that's what I always like to read up before we do something like that, because I don't ever want to be, oh yes, we have US dollars, take them. Pretentious?
Don't read anything into
is a good
that
word.
accent.
Pretentious? That's a, but is like.
For anybody listening from the UK or from.
Oh, was that? I was just doing like a voice.
She's an actress. I liked it.
I was being a character. But yes, like, but what I read is that it's welcomed to receive US dollars. So that's why I was like, okay, let's do that. And the other thing that I did want to touch upon, if you don't mind me stepping on your toes there, is that US transfers did a really good job of communicating in advance. Like they were communicative via email beforehand, confirming our flights, all that. And then they gave us a map of here's what the airport looks like. Here's where you will walk out, bypass all these people, come over here. And they're wearing branded shirts. So you know exactly who you're looking for. So we were able to like, nope, thank you. Like horse with the blinders on. We found our person. And then she had a clipboard, got our name, radioed, and they brought around the car and we were like good to go. So it made it way more seamless when it does feel like it could get very overwhelming at that airport.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Joanna, redemption coming your way, 2026, 2027. Book it. run it back.
I'm honestly probably taking my daughter to Cancun next, and I'm not going to try to take an Uber with my daughter now that I know that they're going to threaten Mexican jail on us. So
holy cow. We need to go listen to this.
We need to listen to that one.
Yes, I'm going to put the link, you guys, for this company in the show notes. So if you need to book a Cancun transfer, it might not be as expensive, I would think, to go to like one of the closer I don't know if it's distance based or not. Anyways, there are lots of great options. We used Amstar coming back, so that was good. They worked directly with the Hyatt as well. But this is good to know that it was all smooth and relatively affordable.
Okay, time to get into really fun stuff. The actual resort, Secret Moxché, which to set the stage for everybody is a Hyatt Category E, adults only, all-inclusive. It boasts 7 pools, 11 different restaurants, a spa, all the dreamy things that you want in a getaway like this. So what were your overall impressions of the property when you arrived?
Well, you painted the picture beautifully, because that's exactly, when you walk in, for me, it was like luxury island resort vibes. And it felt, I think the way the property is shaped too, even though you're in a row of resorts, it feels like you're secluded on this island and there's nothing else around. There's so many like palm trees and greenery. And so because of that, it also feels like so intimate. It's deceptively large because there's all these different restaurants, all these different pools. But when you walk in, there's this beautiful foyer that you walk into, and as they're taking you to the room with all of the tropical palm tree covered pathways and stuff, it makes it feel like small and private.
Yes.
I like
And
that.
that's what it felt like every day as we were walking around, we would take a different path of like, oh, what's down here? And then we'd stumbled upon a different little pool or a set of lounges or lounge chairs with hammocks. Like there's all these like little secret pockets of places that felt like hidden and secluded.
Yeah.
Wow.
Walking in, this was my first all inclusive. So I felt very spoiled. I guess I still don't know how spoiled I am to be able to go to that property.
I felt like we started at the top.
You
so
did.
we're like ruined.
Everything's
We're
down from
ruined.
here. Yeah.
But I walked in and it's like, okay, when we get there, like we'll be in this like welcome lobby, which I'm assuming is going to be nice, but I'm like walking in and then I'm Googling like, what do you call like an elegant, luxurious welcome lobby that's open air and is like this corridor that looks out onto the entire property of all these pools. You see the ocean and it's like, you can walk right up to the edge and just see everything that's there. And it's like, oh my gosh, why am I a VIP? Like what's happening? Like, and they treat you like that. They like everybody there, you know, they whisk you away to check in and bring you or offer up welcome drinks. Then they escort you to your room. They're showing you around. And it's like, okay, I guess now let's go do everything.
And at the time, we didn't even have any type of Hyatt status or anything. Like, because I know sometimes it's like, oh, well, if you're a globalist, like they do those extra things. But like this was just us, like we just booked the standard room with points and we were relatively new to, we had only done like one trip on points before that.
Yeah.
So we were really surprised at the level of what Brad mentioned, that VIP care, like this like feeling that you're this like celebrity or something, when it's just like, oh, we just booked like the standard room. We didn't even do there's like also the impressions side of the resort. Impressions, we didn't even do that, and it felt like,
it's like,
that's
what is a
know.
globalist? Yeah, what is a globalist and impressions experience?
Right.
Like, if we were already like here.
That's a great question. Maybe one that none of us will ever know the answer to. I don't know. I will never be globalist. There's no way. But this is actually a good segue into that. So you were not globalist, but it looks like you got upgraded anyways. And for anybody who wants to see this room, you can go over to their Instagram, find the highlight bubble called Mexico, and you can watch the room tour and such a good recap up there. So you can literally see this trip start to finish, which is probably going to be very helpful if you want to book it yourself. But tell us how much you spent in points per night on the room, and how did you end up getting upgraded? Did you do anything special? Oh, and how many days were you there total?
Yes, all good questions. So we, as Mary Ellen mentioned, it's a category E. So 35K is off peak, 40 is standard, and 45 is peak pricing. So we booked 3 nights at the standard rate. So it was 120,000 points for our 3 nights. Upon retrospect, we would definitely have done a 4th. We were like, now we're only doing 4, at least 4 nights. So our room that we booked, when you go into the Hyatt website and you book with points, your option is Junior Suite King or Junior Suite double beds. Like those are your 2 options. And so we booked just the regular Junior Suite King, and we have a template that we use.
Room upgrade template that
sure.
you can insert the variable and send it away to roll the dice.
Yes.
Actually, not even roll the dice. Just see if you can get more for what you are.
I always say you're shooting your best shot.
That's right.
We can also put that in the show notes as well. We have a free upgrade guide, and it's the exact script that we use. And I always like to say, like, we're not taking advantage of this situation. We use this for occasions where we're celebrating something, or if it's a birthday or an anniversary. In this case, we had both just done a 9-month school at our church where we were studying the New Testament for 9 months, and we just graduated. So that's what
Wow.
this is we just finished 9 months of study, and now we graduated and we're going on this trip. So that is why I used the template, like letting them know we graduated and we're celebrating that. And so we got put in a room that faced the ocean. There's like also tropical view rooms. So that was part of the upgrade as we got on a higher floor. We got the ocean view, and then we had that plunge pool as well. And
it wasn't an ocean front, but it was ocean view, which
different.
Most people listening will probably recognize the difference between those two. But it was,
we saw it. It looked amazing.
Good note.
Yeah.
Good note. The other thing that was so awesome is that they decorated our room for us. Like they put like happy graduation on our door when we walked up.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, and had little like posters and like little streamers that said happy graduation, and just those extra kind of touches that was like, this is so nice that you're giving us like all these little extra things just because we also asked. So that's like, that's a big thing that why I love that room upgrade guide, is because you never know until you ask, and they really want you to have a wonderful experience. And if you are celebrating something, an anniversary, birthday, graduation, it is worth letting them know, because it gives them the opportunity to do something extra to make your trip that much more memorable. And here we are talking about how memorable it was.
Yes,
so it worked.
It worked. 100%.
Absolutely.
We tell people the same thing. We have emailed. We have a guide as well. So reach out to either one of us if you want that guide. Anytime you go anywhere. There's so many things to celebrate in life. And anytime you're going on a trip, from a getaway from your everyday life, that is a celebration. That is worth celebrating. So find a reason to email them. Okay, a couple things I really loved about your room on that highlight bubble. 2 things come to mind. Number 1, the room service secret doorway. I would have ordered room service just for that.
Okay.
So I want you to tell us about that in just a second. But also the balcony tub. And wow, honestly, that is better. When I went to St. Kitts, we had a plunge pool suite. Loved the plunge pool. So cool, so cold. And so mostly we didn't even enjoy the plunge pool because it wasn't heated, but because what you guys had on the balcony was like a bathtub.
So amazing.
It could have warm water in it, so you could really enjoy it. Tell us about these magical things.
Yes.
The secret doorway. So you're going in and you're opening up your closet, put away some things, and you find this cupboard, kind of, you press it, it opens, and you're like, wait, this goes out. Oh,
it blends in with the wall.
And so it's a contactless, like you can be in your room relaxing in the plunge pool, and you order room service, it shows up. They don't even have to knock at the door, and you just get a notification that it's arrived, and then you go in, you grab it. We actually used it for breakfast one morning, and it was so good. We could put our order in, and then it just shows up, and there we are, just enjoying breakfast from the room.
That was wild, because we put in the order the night before, and we like requested it at a certain time. So we literally just kind of woke up, and then I was like, oh, we should check the box, because this is like perfect timing. And there it was, just sitting there, all of our breakfast.
Okay, so I have to interject here because I'm a little salty, because we have one of these boxes at our all-inclusive, and I thought that that's what it was for. So one night I ordered room service when my husband was already asleep, because this man works night shifts as a police officer. And so sometimes trying to adjust to day shifts to go on this trip was hard for him. So he was already asleep and I was starving, and I wasn't going to like go to a restaurant by myself. And so I ordered room service, and I think it's coming to the box, but it doesn't. This man knocks on my door and wants to bring the food into the room. And I was like, oh, my husband's sleeping. And he's like, oh, I'll be quiet. And he runs into the room with the food. And my poor husband is laying there on the bed. Thankfully, he did not even wake up. Like, he was out like a light. But it was like, I was like, oh, I could have just taken it from your hands. It was so weird.
Yeah.
So in our room, what the box was for was to put your dirty dishes in, which I loved. Like, I loved that you could stick them there. They weren't cluttering up the room or whatever. And then they would just come take everything for you, like that was great, because sometimes we come back to our room with drinks and cups, and like it was just nice to be able to clean up. But I feel like it should have also been the delivery system,
Yeah.
as it was at your resort. And so I'm just a little salty and disappointed that, but it's a great story. So
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah. It worked the same way too, also, as far as like we put our dirty dishes or cups or whatever in there and they would take them out too.
Yeah, true.
That
and then
both ways.
the plunge pool, we were in there I think at least twice.
Mm-hmm.
There was a day where we went into the pools and then we came back up and we're like, why not get into the plunge pool? And so we did that. Temperature controlled is great, and this also it's pretty private as well. Now we were on the interior of the resort, so we could see to the other side. Where it was impressions.
Yeah, we could see the impressions.
So we could see impressions, and then technically impressions could see us, but it's a good distance away. We couldn't see the people in the rooms next to either side of us. The way they have it angled, and then the way that they have the edge of the balcony set up with the the glass protectors so you don't walk off the edge, and there's not a way to see your neighbor unless you're leaning over, peeking around very obviously.
Yeah.
So you have privacy there too, and so there. I think, did they give us champagne for the graduation, or did we order it?
We asked for. Well, I just asked for champagne, like from the bar, like a glass, and they brought us a whole bottle in like over ice and glasses and like a little fruit plate. Like I just ordered 2 glasses of champagne and then we got all of that. I was like, oh, okay.
So we took that out to the plunge pool and just relaxed and popped open a bottle of champagne and cheers to graduation and relaxing and being in Playa del Carmen.
Oh, that was
and
real good.
I think, or maybe it's the impressions where you have the concierge service to be able to, like, you can actually, if you're at impressions, you can, go through the WhatsApp communication and actually have them like draw a bath for you.
Oh my.
I would like to touch upon that. So with impressions, like Brad mentioned, you have a one-on-one concierge that you are directly WhatsApping. But even with the regular Secrets Moxché, there is a concierge for a section on your floor. So even though it's not one-on-one, like person to room, you still do have access via WhatsApp to a person that can help with those things. So that is also something that is possible, but they just get like a little more like one-on-one.
Okay. I like it when I leave and I come back and like my bed is made, but I think someone drawing a bath for me might be where I cross the line.
It might be a little much.
Where I draw the line.
They have bubbles too. Like you could ask for like your bath to be drawn and they'll like put bubbles in there. We didn't do that, but
okay. All right.
We poured our own water.
The height of luxury, man.
Really is. I don't know what that life is like.
Yeah.
Okay, now the next thing. So we have covered how magnificent the room is. On your highlight stories, when I watch the videos of this place, the pool is massive. Pools, I mean, there's more than one, but there is one that caught my attention because it was so massive and it seemed to have a shallow shelf that just went on forever. I love that, the way you can kind of lounge in the water and it's not deep. It's just enough to enjoy lounging in the water. So tell us about that whole pool scene because it really did look perfection.
The pools are so good. I mean, and obviously it's a part of their, the branding of that location and everything that they are advertising. But I mean, that's one of the first things you see when you're walking through that luxurious lobby, as you see the pools, and then it goes into another pool, into another pool, into the beach, into the ocean. It's like, we got to go into all of these.
Yes.
So yeah, that first one where you can just walk in and it feels like you're walking like a tenth of a mile and and it's shallow. And then you also see on that same, it's like, wait, there's lounge chairs over there. Okay. How do we get over there? Like that looks like this like exclusive area that you can just like be in a private spot and you can get right into the water from like a short ladder. And then you can actually get in the water, like lay down a little bit, but it's not like you have to tread water. That's just the first pool. which again is massive.
And they have that section where they were doing the snorkeling. So there is also like a deep section to that pool too. That's like where they do some
they were snorkeling?
They
have
were
little
doing
fake fish swimming around. Please tell me yes.
I'm sorry. I said snorkeling. I think they do snorkeling too. It's snorkeling and they do scuba diving as an activity.
Wow.
So they can take you. There's a section of that initial 0 entry pool where it is shallow. You can do all that, and then there's a spot where it goes deep enough for them to do that part of the activities. It's like you said, it's massive.
And that first pool, has a small little beach area where you can. It's not the beach, but it's all sand, and then you can just walk right into the pool. The cool part about that is you don't feel like you have sand all over your body when you leave that pool area, which for me, like that is a thing for me.
You're speaking to Mary Ellen.
Yes. I hate sand.
I like the beach, but I hate the sand. So this was a great compromise. And then they've got they've got infinity pools. They've got pools that have like DJs and playing music. They've got pools. There was 2 pools with 2 different pools with swim up bars. So then you've got literally this built-in stone seat where you're in the water, you're sitting in the water, but you're sitting on this stone seat, and you can actually be at the bar and ordering drinks. And then pools that are overlooking the beach, which is then right to the ocean. Then at night when like the pools do close, so there's a certain point where like you can't go into the pools. But they have like musical acts. Like there was like a acoustic guitar and vocalist one night, and then they're playing on this like patio that overlooks one of the pools, and you're walking by, you see all the lights reflecting off of it. It's like,
stunning.
I would. Yeah, it's incredible.
The cenotes too. There's 3 cenotes.
On
Tell them about
property?
That. On
property.
They're
now,
man-made.
Yes,
Okay.
But to give you the vibe.
And for anybody that is not familiar with what a cenote is, which would also be me pre-Mexico, the traditional cenote is a natural kind of falling in of limestone, or like a sinkhole, or just something that's like kind of fallen in on itself, and then it just creates this like area where there's an opening. And so this Secret Moxché has a few man-made cenotes, but then you talk about, again, private area, where if you go during different times, you can be the only one there. And
you have it all to yourself.
Yeah, and it's just like this nice little getaway. You just get to relax. And there's also at every single pool, there are people in attendance coming around that are offering up, can I get you anything to drink? Can I get you anything to eat? And so it's like, oh, I don't even have to go anywhere.
No.
They just keep coming to you.
We were literally in one of the cenotes and we were by ourselves. The ironic part is that we were also filming content. So we were like, we had our little like tripod. So it always looks a little weird when it's like the 2 of you and you're in a and then someone came by and they're like, hi. And we're like, oh, hello. Like awkward.
Don't mind us.
Then he was like, do you guys need a margarita or a mojito or a pina colada or anything?
It would make the shot.
Yes.
You really should. That's probably what they said.
Yes,
so we did.
That's how that happened. And we're like, yeah, now that you mention it. And they're like, great, we'll get you one. And then you'll be.
Was it 9:30 a.m.? Yeah, it was.
Yep. That's how it is at an all-inclusive.
Look nice.
I have one question before we leave the pools, because this came up with when I visited the Grand Hyatt Baja Mar. They have multiple pools.
Ooh.
Some are heated, some are not. So you guys went in May, but I know this is a question that some people have. Do you know if the pools were heated, or were they just comfortable enough in May that it didn't matter? With the Bahamas, we went in January. So when you're going in that time of year, it's still warm enough to be in a pool, but the water isn't necessarily super warm if it's not heated. So you guys may not know, but that is a question that I know comes up for people.
Yeah.
I don't know officially, but from what I can remember, I know the cenote was on the colder side. I don't think those are heated. There is a pool at the very front closest to the beach that has like an infinity pool. That one I remember being warm. And I would suspect that one was heated.
So it's probably hit or miss on the property.
I think it depends on the pool.
For sure. And I would recommend everybody, there are Facebook groups. There's a Hyatt Insiders Facebook group that you can research. a lot of times questions like this come up. So if you are planning a trip here and that's a concern for you, do a deep dive in one of these Facebook groups and ask the question, because I bet people can let you know which one is which. And that's always good for research for any trip.
Yes.
Find the
Yes.
Facebook group for that location or for that resort, and people are a wealth of information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The search functionalities within Facebook in those groups is
Yes.
incredible.
I think
'Cause
people
that's
don't know
exactly it.
that's a thing a lot of times.
Yeah. I'm glad that you said
this
that.
question for the 7,000th time.
Yep.
Okay, let's talk food. It is an all-inclusive, and there are apparently 11 restaurants on site at this place, which is so crazy. I noticed in your stories that you guys were doing something super genius, which was
Yes.
2 per night, like doing appetizers
Restaurants a
at
night.
one
Got to.
place and then dinner at another. That is genius. So did you
Yes.
have any favorites, any standouts? And is there anything we need to know about getting reservations or the more popular ones?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go for it.
Do you want- Okay, I'll kick it off.
Yes.
So, yes, we did 2 restaurants a night. Our strategy there was just because we only were there for 3 nights. So if there's 11 restaurants, math. And we just thought, okay, if we do appetizers and or maybe split one course and get a drink, and then we can go to the other one or a different one. Something to note was that not all of the restaurants are always open every night of the week. So a tip that I would have is that if there is something that's really important to you, that you really want to go to this steak place or the French place, before you even start in on your trip, look at the app, which we can cover in a moment, but looking at the app, seeing what's open when, maybe the French place is only open on Tuesday, Thursdays. So making sure that you can figure out which ones you want to get to so you can try the restaurants that you want to try. So that's a little hot tip there. But as far as my favorites, there was a place called Sea Soul, which was right on the water or very close to the beach. You could leave the restaurant and be walking in the sand on the beach. And they specialize in very fresh seafood dishes. Oh my gosh. The ceviche was so good. The tacos, we did shrimp tacos. They were insane. Oh, and there was a tres leches cake, and I love tres leches.
Yes.
And they bring you the cake, and then they have the little tres leches, the milks, the cream stuff, and they pour it in front of you over the cake, and you just watch it all soak in, and it's silky and delicious. And then we went to a place called Suki that I loved. They do hibachi, sushi, Asian fare, and we're really into that. So that was delicious. We went back there twice, actually. And then, there is a place called Barefoot Grill, which you would probably look at that and think okay, they do pizza, burgers, grill stuff. It's probably not that fabulous. Well, we had a pizza there, and we also ordered a pizza when we were sitting at one of our lounge chairs one day. And then compared to the Italian place, the Italian restaurant where we also had pizza, we both agreed the Barefoot pizza was substantially better.
Hot
so
tip.
that's also my hot tip.
Yes.
Don't pass up on Barefoot Grill pizza, because it was really good.
You get me a Barefoot Grill pizza and a pina colada poolside, I'm good. And just run it back each day.
Forget all the other restaurants.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I turned into pina colada Brad on this vacation.
Yes.
It was wonderful.
Unashamedly, pina colada Brad.
I love it.
I had one in my hands often and responsibly, but it was so those restaurants were great. There was also a Mexican restaurant, Dos Almas.
Oh yes.
That we went to, and they had tableside salsa,
Yum.
homemade authentic Mexican fare. That was fantastic.
They made all their tortillas in house.
Yeah, but I also Sea Soul, so good.
My mouth is watering.
So good.
Yeah, I'm
we
hungry.
both were very agreed or in agreement of yes, we want to go back to these. And then I am just a sucker for ice cream and for sweets. And so they have a 24-hour cafe or coffee shop, pastry, ice cream, desserts. And so that was, I think, the first spot that we actually went to. Mm-hmm. We got there, got a coffee, got ice cream, went out to the pools, and I just also found myself keep going back there too.
I mean, 24-hour ice cream.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. But there's, like you said, there's so many restaurants. You can go on their website and you can see all of them. You can see a description of all of them. It's very, very good. There is they do have dress code policies.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was for every restaurant that if you're a guy and you're sitting inside, you have to have pants. And they actually stuck to that. We went to a restaurant.
The dress code. Pants.
Yeah, they are by the book with the dress code. Yes.
But I think I might have had shorts on one night, and we were going somewhere. I was like, oh, okay, we can't. We walked in and they said, well, we can't seat you inside, but we can't seat you outside unless, sir, you'd like to change. I was like, oh. Okay.
So we said, okay, we will sit outside.
I was joking because I thought you were going to say like a jacket. Like men had to have a jacket.
Right,
no, pants is the threshold.
Not the Titanic.
Not a dinner jacket.
Yeah, we're at Secrets of Moxché. We're not at the country club.
Yeah, it's like tropical
chic.
I couldn't have a
chic.
I couldn't have a tank top on. I didn't have to have. Maybe I had to have a collar. Too.
You had to leave Atlanta behind in your tank tops.
Yes. I think also, specifically, there's like the sit-down restaurants. There are some, like the Barefoot Grill one, that was not like one that had a dress code. Yeah. Or they also want to be mindful of women, like not just showing up in a bathing suit.
Yeah.
You know how some like cover-ups are really see-through?
Not covering anything.
Not really covering up.
Yeah.
That was like another thing to be mindful of.
Yes.
And then the other thing that regarding food that was so fun is every night, if you didn't want to go to one of the restaurants, they had street carts out every night. So they did like churros and empanadas and street tacos, and it was changing. Sometimes it was themed depending on the night. So there's a lot of different opportunities to try different types of cuisines all across the board and different ways that you can enjoy them.
And did you say, do you have to make a reservation? Is there an app that you use to do that?
So for the most part, a lot of the restaurants, you would just walk up and put your name in and they would just let you know, like, okay, it's going to be 10 minutes. One place I know for sure you need a reservation is not Suki itself. Like you can still go to Suki and walk up, but they have a hibachi table inside of Suki. And that is still included. It's still included in your stay, but you have to make a reservation to be seated at the hibachi place. But other than that, we didn't have to make a reservation for anything. We just walked up and put our name down.
Yeah.
Okay. That's nice.
So that was also really nice. And that helped with our 2 restaurants per night strategy. We weren't racing a clock or anything.
Yeah. That is super nice. Yeah. And I think since we already mentioned it, might as well. The app, guys, is called the Hyatt All-Inclusive app. And you use the same app no matter which Hyatt All-Inclusive you're at. And it shows you all the things. Very helpful.
Yes. Everything from there's maps on there. They've got all the entertainment and the show times for things. If there's activities like that scuba class that I mentioned or beach volleyball, that's on there. And it lets you know if things are closed, like if there's a certain restaurant that's closed for the night. It will also tell you the menus for each restaurant, the dress code for each restaurant. You can also use the app to request turn down service for your room or your room to get cleaned. Room service, food and stuff is also on the app. So we made use of that every day, multiple times a day.
Great. Speaking of the nightly lineup of entertainment, I know that they have a Moxché theater. Is that worth attending? Like, I'll be honest, I haven't been to a lot of nighttime entertainment things at resorts because I am elderly and I go to bed very early. So I have no interest in a lot of nighttime entertainment. But was their lineup pretty good?
It was. I will say this. If you think like cruise ships, when you typically go on a cruise ship, the production value within the nightly show on a cruise ship is usually pretty good. And I would say Secrets of Moxché Theater was just below what a cruise ship would be. Okay. So it rotates on a nightly basis. Mm-hmm. If you stay there long enough, you'll see the same show. But I would say on your stay, if you're there for a few nights, find at least whatever the most appealing night is. Go check it out. If it happens to be on the front end of your trip, then you might go back for a second night. We went to at least one show. I think we went to two.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fun. It was cool to see, and especially because we had been in the sun all day, it was nice to just be inside, AC.
Yeah, it's air conditioning,
cooling down.
Yep.
You know, you can get drinks in there too. And so it was entertaining. Definitely some spots in the show that's like, wow, that was really cool. That was impressive. And then some other spots that were like, I see what you're trying to do.
It's a little, it could get a little cheesy at some parts, but yes, there were some acrobats that did some really cool stuff at that point too. So.
And it was never packed out, but probably time of year that we were there. And there's also just a lot of seats there. So I think it's if there's way more people in there, probably a little bit more energy from the audience, stuff like that.
For sure.
But the other nightly entertainment.
Oh man. Oh, I saw this other nightly entertainment. Mary Ellen saw this nightly entertainment, and she wrote these questions very well, because when I saw it, that's exact. Stop it. Like, I'm sorry. Did a door just open?
Yes.
In a wall?
Yes.
I've never wanted to walk through anything more in my entire life. And Mary Ellen and I are on the same page about this. We don't go to nightclubs any longer. I don't know if she ever did. I sure at one point in my life did, but I sure do not now. And I just want to walk through the door and then walk right back out. I just want that experience.
Yes.
Tell us about this. And was it amazing?
Yes. So very similar. We also are not the club type. No. But when you tell me that there is a hidden nightclub with a password, I am going. And so they have this hidden nightclub / speakeasy, and there is a password that you need to acquire, and it changes daily. So it is a reason also to go to the show, because they will tell you during the entertainment of at the show, they'll be like, and tonight's password is, but you could also ask your concierge. You can also ask the front desk, but I will say you need it. Like, they're not, the way they're strict about the dress code is the same way with the password, because I think the first time we went up and like said the password, they were like, and then we're like, no, it's this word. That's right. And they're like, yes. So they like weren't going to open the door at first.
And it's in that you're in a pharmacy.
Yes. So when you walk up, it looks like a pharmacy, and you can actually buy, like, there's like Tums and Advil, like the kind of things you would get at a pharmacy. There is like a little stand where you could purchase some of these items. And then there is a man kind of hovering over in the corner, and he's dressed like a pharmacist, and he's got his arm leaned up against the wall, and you're like, that's probably the guy I need. And when you walk up to him and you tell him the password, it's like something out of Sherlock Holmes or like Clue, where they like kind of pull a little lever and the door pops, and he slowly like pushes it back, and you enter this little hallway, and it kind of doesn't, like, where is this taking me? And then it opens up with lights, DJ, loud music, and it's called
You're
Gypsy.
bumping.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Bumping.
And it was like, this is so cool. And then we danced for like a second, and then we left.
Yeah. You're like, oh wait, we can't hear each other. I gotta go somewhere where my ears work.
Yeah.
If you're into that, it was really cool experience, and I could see. We also couldn't get over how many people were there.
Yeah.
Like when we went to the entertainment with the show for the night, it wasn't very packed, and I was like, oh, I guess, and like I said, it's a very intimate type resort, so it feels like you're kind of away from everybody. And when we walked in there, I was like, I didn't even know there were this many people staying here.
That was where everybody somehow gathered and was like collected at night.
Party
vibes. Like, okay, now we know where people are.
Yeah, that's where the party is. You got to find the password and go through the speakeasy door.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Well, what other daytime activities did you guys do? So you enjoyed the pools, you enjoyed the food. Did you engage in any of the other things? I know there's like a fun golf simulator and some things like that. Did you do any of those other little fun activities?
We did that. Well, I did that.
Oh, I swung.
Oh, you did. That's right. She did swing.
Yes.
So we went into the Dark Horse. It's a sports bar, and on the second floor they have a golf simulator. So we got to have some fun with that. And of course, there's like 6 other people. I think it was like 3 couples, and everybody was just kind of taking turns hanging out. We were talking to another couple that had been there 2 weeks for their honeymoon.
Yes.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And
They
I bet
had
they didn't
gotten
use
some
points.
sun. Yeah, I bet they did not. So we did that. We actually did not go to the spa, but you could do a whole nother deep dive on just the spa from like the things that you can find online. That is a cost when you go, so that would be an add-on. But they've got music that pops up in multiple different places throughout the day, in the evening, so you can just sit and enjoy that. They've got snorkeling in the ocean. They've got tennis, paddleboard. They have a couple different classes, so you can do a cocktail making class. You can do a dance class. If you do want to wake up early and not shoot content, you could also do beach yoga. So the only things that we really did was the simulator, and then we were at the pools, at the restaurants, and yeah.
They also had at Dark Horse, they had a couple themed nights. And when we were there, there was like a Vegas night. So and Dark Horse also stays open late as well. They stay open until 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., I think. It's one of the places that stays open the latest. We were asleep at that point. But they had a poker Vegas night where they had a couple tables set up that was an activity. And like Brad just mentioned, they did trivia too. So they also have like these kind of stand-up activities that pop up throughout the day. That makes it fun. So
love that. Lots of options. Although I'm personally more of the relax at an all-inclusive time. I'll get busy in Europe. Like that's where we'll do the bouncing around.
Yes, us too.
If I'm at an all-inclusive, I just want to lay and read my book and drink my spicy margarita. And walk on the beach. There is beach access at this property, yes? Because it sounded like it with the one restaurant that you said was overlooking the beach.
Yes, so there is beach access. This particular stretch of beach is not known to be ideal for swimming. So I know that the sand is like, it's not that picturesque white sandy beach.
Okay.
It's like darker sand and pretty rocky in the water.
Interesting.
And depending on the time of year, the seaweed can get really bad. And so, I mean, even while we were there, it was to the point where every single day we saw staff out there raking seaweed, putting it in wheelbarrows and rolling it away. And then they did the same thing the next day. Yeah. So I would say if you are looking at this resort because you have the intention and dream to like be on the beach in Mexico, then maybe this is not your resort.
Yeah.
If you are someone who would love to be lounging by the pool overlooking the beach, then this is definitely your resort.
Yeah.
So you do have access to it, but we didn't go in the water at all. And we didn't really see anyone going in. So it's not
sounds perfect to
me. It's not the resort for that. Yes.
Mary Ellen says
Ellen's
great.
type of resort. Yes. And our type of resort.
So to wrap it up for everybody, because now everybody is wanting to go, I want to go over briefly how people can acquire the points to pay for this property. And there's a handful of different ways. Now, thankfully, there's more ways than ever that you can get Hyatt points. The newest way being you can earn Rakuten points, which can be transferred over to Built, and Built transfers to Hyatt. So that is a fun new way that everybody can be earning points for this property. Last year, as we mentioned in other episodes, Joanna and I both earned right at around 100,000 points throughout the year via Rakuten. So that would pay for a couple nights at this great property. Yeah. So what are some other things, maybe the more traditional routes that you could go to earn the points needed for this?
Yeah. That what you just explained is a game changer for getting Hyatt points. And we're so stoked about that.
So excited.
The traditional route, we use really any Ultimate Rewards points that you can get. So primarily Chase Sapphire Preferred. And because we're working as 2 players, P1 and P2, we're able to kind of double everything with that. But even if you're just one person, Chase Sapphire Preferred, and then with that welcome bonus, you wouldn't be able to cover 3 nights, or close to 2 nights, but then you can also look at any of the Chase Inc. business cards. That's a great option. You can also look at specifically the Hyatt cards with Chase. And then as far as the flights down and back, we went Southwest because of the companion pass. But so many different airlines will fly into Cancun from the States, back and forth. The one other kind of caveat with that is double check your standing with your 5 and 24 for Chase, just to make sure that if you are looking to open cards and make this trip happen, you're not going to get capped and get denied for cards. So a few of those options, and then transferring those points to Hyatt, and you're sitting at a pool with great pizza from Barefoot Grill, a pina colada, and just enjoying life.
Yeah, for literally $270 something out of pocket. Well, that was the airfare, and then we've got to think $140 for the transportation, and then whatever you guys spent on tipping, which I think we ended up spending like $200 over the course of our trip on tipping as well. But like, realistically, for all your food, all your airfare, your entire hotel stay, amazing, absolutely incredible.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I guess the last card, because on the way back, you of course don't want to just go to the airport and buy some airport food.
True.
So if the lounges were nice in the Cancun airport, we used our Venture X for lounge access, where we both were able to get in for a little while longer, and then we'll have to reevaluate our strategy.
That's coming to an end in February, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we're thinking about just now him getting one too, and then
there you go.
Problem
solved.
Problem solved.
So that was what wrapped up our trip, and it was a very pleasant ride home, or flight home.
Amazing. Well, tell us where you guys are headed next on points then before we let you go.
Ooh, yes. This is actually very on brand for this podcast episode because it's a lot of beaches. We are going to Kauai in December for our anniversary. So we're staying at the Grand Hyatt there. And then we will be going to the new Secrets in Aruba. Secrets Baby Beach.
Wonderful.
We're going in March.
Oh,
so now I'll have a compare and contrast.
I'm so
why
excited
don't you come back and tell us about the Secrets Aruba?
Yes. Would love to.
Yes. And then we've got and then we're doing the Alila Ventana Big Sur in April.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Nice. We just had an episode about that not too long ago. It sounds amazing. You guys are going to have such a fun time. Thank you so much for being here and sharing all of this with us today. Tell everybody where they can find you on all of the internet places.
All of the things.
I'm gonna let you take this one because I don't want to mess it up. She is the mastermind behind everything. I like to say that I know like 75% of what she knows, and then as I started talking about it, I then realized, nope, it's like 60%. But then through our conversations, I get to bounce back up to that 75%. So
I think you don't give yourself enough credit, but I can't do this.
I do know that our handle for just about everything is Parks on Rec, not Parks and Rec, but it is a play on that. And so Parks on Recreation, that's our last name. So Parks on Rec on Instagram, on YouTube. Our website is parksonrec.com. Where else?
And Facebook is also.
And Facebook, Parks on Rec.
See, you nailed it, honey.
Nailed it.
All right.
I will also link all, so nobody has to remember that. It's all down below in the show notes.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Everybody, go over to the Facebook group. Tell us about what all-inclusives you have been to. Share your secrets over there, and let us know which ones you want to hear about next. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Bye, guys. If you enjoyed this show today, please consider writing us a review or clicking 5 stars wherever you listen to your podcasts. And please subscribe and follow along so that you never miss an episode.
You can follow the podcast on Instagram or YouTube at Wonderland on Points Podcast. You can find me on Instagram at Family Travel for the Win with the number 4.
And you can find me on Instagram at Points to Wonderland.
If you're thinking about getting a new Travel Rewards credit card, consider using the links in our show notes. Using our links helps to support us and keep our podcast going so we can provide you with all the latest tips and tricks when it comes to traveling on points.
And if you aren't sure which card is right for you, shoot us an email at wonderlandonpoints@gmail.com. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you here next time.